Okay, happy Monday. I cannot believe it's already August 20th. I feel like just yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, July's over, it's August. And now I'm like, holy crap, September's like tomorrow. But I had a few announcements for this week, and then I'm going to pass the mic over to Mallory, who's going to kind of lead us in a conversation about the vital behaviors and some content that kind of centers around that stuff. So super excited about tonight. So today is Monday, August 20th. The only announcements that I have, the first one is hopefully you are aware of the fact that Daily Sunshine is $30 off through Labor Day. That's FAQ 7356. So that is the essentially Shakeology for kids. So it's great for anybody with little ones. So be sure you're promoting that. Also, the To Be Mindset certification, FAQ 1081. You get $20 off all To Be Mindset packs and kits through September 3rd. And office hours with Alana are live on the To Be Mindset Facebook page every Wednesday and Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. So be sure you check out that certification if that program is something that you're interested in getting certified to. I think you're officially called like a mentor if you go through that process. So third announcement, I'm super pumped about this one. Hopefully one day I can exercise again, but we just launched today a total body pregnancy workout, FAQ 5103. It is by a trainer who is certified in pre and postnatal fitness. She has created 3 new total body workouts for expecting moms, plus a postnatal workout for new moms. The workouts are available in English and Spanish in the Beachbody On Demand library. So if you have, challengers, current challengers, or potential customers or clients who kind of fall in one of those categories, that's a really great option for you to talk with them about. So that's all that I have. I am going to pass the mic over to Mallory, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I talked to a few of my coaches last week, and then I talked to Beth about this, and I think that, I don't know if any of you guys or how many of you guys follow me on social media, but I'm pretty transparent when I'm like, guys, I'm having a bad day. I don't feel like working out today, or like, my life is awesome today. Like, I killed it. And the last few weeks I have really been struggling, and I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if I was just I had started a new program and I was not feeling it as much as the last one, or it was inconsistent. And I decided this last week to discontinue doing Lift 4. And it was I really struggled with this decision because I'm leading a Lift 4 specific group. I'm telling everybody to follow a workout program and stick to it, and all of these reasons why. And then I'm also hearing myself tell people man, you have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to your body. You have to listen to what motivates you. And I was not motivated in every aspect of my life. So I took a step back, and I actually started doing a little obsessed last week, and I started doing 80-day obsession again this week. And if any of you know me and you know my journey, for me, that's my reset button right now that I just kind of needed to reset. And in doing so, I really went back to the basics of the business as well, and saying okay, I think what really, the one thing that I've struggled with has been self-development. And in leading up to that, I'm going to end with that tonight, but I just kind of restarted focusing on the 4 vital behaviors, because I've been spending so much time and doing all of these things and getting my coaches up and going and all of this other stuff, that really, when it comes down to it, just focusing on the 4 vital behaviors, that's it. Whitney and I talked about this last week. I had a long conversation with her, and anytime I think I am struggling or I'm down and I need to get out of this funk, all I do is focus on the 4 vital behaviors. So I just kind of want to retouch on those. And I have a lot of new coaches, so it's not as repetitive for you guys, but I do think, repetitive or not, whether you've been doing this for a week or 5 years, remembering where your focus should be is super important. So first and foremost, we're supposed to be a product of the product. which again, that's kind of where I was struggling, is I was like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be a product of the product I'm like feeling at this program. But really, like I'm having my shake every day. I'm sharing my journey. I'm doing everything that I possibly can to better myself. And that to me is being a product of the product. So I do think that it's super, super important. And I actually started listening to Melanie Mitro's podcast called Women Inspiring Women. And she talks about this a lot of like, you need to be this person that you're telling everybody else to be. And really all it is drinking your shake every day and pushing play every day. And it's so, so simple, but just being able to share it. And I know we talk about consistency and it's like the word of the year, and however much you hate hearing it, like that truly is what drives our business, is being a product of the product consistently and showing up when you didn't feel like it. And I have not felt like it for the last 4 weeks. This last like week or so, I'm like getting there, but I struggled with it a lot. But I still showed up every single day. I still drank my shake every single day. I still worked out every single day. And I had to switch gears and I had to pick a different program, but I stopped one program one day and I started the next one the following day. So that's it. Like, I know that it works, and I'm not going to say like, oh my gosh, I was struggling, I got out of this. Like, this doesn't work for me. No, something I was doing wasn't working for me. I needed to reevaluate it and readjust and look at everything that I'm doing and say like, this was working for me a week ago. It can work for me again. I just need to shift my mindset a little bit to get back to where I was. And so the next one is like inviting. We hear this all the time. Like, you need to be adding 5 people a day. You need to be talking to new people every single day. And I think when we are in this like funk, that is the hardest thing to do, right? Is to like, do you really want to tell people how awesome this is when you're like, I'm having a really rough day, I have no friends, like, woe is me. Like, but the crazy thing is the more you talk to people and the more you like are true, like these calls are like gold to me because I'm talking about this and I love it so much. And like, it is like this true reminder. So if I have this conversation with people I don't know or who don't know about it, like that invigorates me a lot. And so I do really encourage you like to do that. And back to like this Melanie Mitro podcast, because I'm like all about it this week. She was talking about the fact that when she started, she had like 100 friends on Facebook. She had no Instagram. She had no blog. She had no podcast. She had nothing. And, you know, she's been doing this now for 7 years ish. And she's been a top coach in the business for many of those years. So she started very simply, literally by adding 5 people to her network every single day. And she started by going to like her husband's friends, because that's what I'm struggling with. Like, okay, but who am I adding? Like, random, am I following hashtags? Am I doing this? Start simply. Like, go to your husband's friends and start friending people that you know. Go to your high school. Go to like hashtag your high school that you went to and start adding people that went to your high school or that went to your college or that are part of your PTO or something, that like there is like a warm connection to these people that you might just not even be aware of. And searching the hashtags on Facebook is what she mentioned. And it's like, it is gold, because you probably know more people in the world, and it's just so easy to get disconnected from them because we are moving super, super fast. And that is originally what social media was made for, right? Is to help people stay connected. So it is made to help find people. So if you know the person that you're trying to target, if you know the person that you want in your tribe, search those hashtags and find them, or search your friends of your friends. Like, I promise you there's like thousands and thousands of people that you're just not connected to that are your tribe. And the other thing I think I need to focus on also, so this is like challenger, let's also like, we need to invite to the coaching opportunity more. I'm never inviting to it enough. You know, I'm probably the most guilty of not doing it. I have gobs and gobs of challengers. I get a ton of Success Club points every month, and I'm not adding enough coaches. And that's probably me being nervous about not understanding the opportunity enough, or afraid that they're going to say no more than anything else. And to just do it. Like, why not? Right? Like, if I can share what I'm getting out of this as a challenger, because I get the same thing as a challenger as a coach, because I started as one, like, why am I not inviting to the coaching opportunity? Because if it's changed my life as much as it has, and it's changed your life or your drive or something in a positive way, it's shifted you in a positive way, why would you not tell somebody about that? Why not? Like, we have to do it. We have to do it. That's the only way that we're going to grow. It's the only way that we can sustain what we're doing. And so I would encourage all of you guys, for every person that you're inviting to a challenge group this week, invite somebody to the coaching opportunity. It's that simple, right? Just ask the question. The other thing that I think our team does like amazing at this, and I think a lot of that is like spearheaded by Beth, is recognizing achievement, right? Like whenever on Thursdays, we have recognition Thursdays, that is a huge, huge part of Beachbody business. And I think that's a huge part of the culture, and it's a huge part of why I like this business. I think it's a very attractive part of any company that's like, you're doing a good job. Here's a gold star. Like, I'm super excited to get this silly hat in the mail. Like, it sounds dumb, but like, I want that stupid hat. I want it on my head. I want to post a picture on Instagram and be like, look what my company gave me, because they're freaking awesome. Like, it's awesome. And I think the little things that we can do to encourage our coaches, to encourage our challengers, that's massive. That's why we give away Nikes a lot of times in our challenge group, right? To like encourage people to, there's a reason we're doing this, but like, it's more than just losing weight and doing all of this. It's like, you are doing something really, really good. So any way that we can make you feel awesome and encourage you, like it, you just get 10 times as much out of it every single time. But what I would also say to this is that make sure you're recognizing your own achievement. I'm guilty of this, of like finding, I want to be diamond, I want to be 5-star diamond, I want to do this. But when I get to this point, I'm like ignoring all of the awesome things that I did up until that point, and just like, well, why am I not here? That's where I want to be. And then I want to be here. And then I want to be here. And that's something that Whitney and I talked about last week also, is that, you know, we want to do all of these things and we want to hit this point in Success Club. And why am I not here yet? And why am I not here? And like, take a step back and just think that, like, Rachel Hollis says this in her book, like, as long as you're moving in the right direction, you're doing the right thing, right? Like, big goals take a longer time to achieve. So make sure that you are not absolutely like killing yourself over hitting the deadline that you maybe didn't hit. If you're moving in the right direction, you are doing something right. And if you want to get there faster, then do more of what you're doing right. That's it. That's the 10 times effect, right? That's the compound effect. That's just doing all of these things, these 4 vital behaviors, and doing more of them. That's it. That's it. So to me, like, those are the 3 like huge big things, right? But for me, the thing I get out of Beachbody the most is self-development. And I'm the person that like waved it off initially, I think, because I was like, I'm all about the money. I want to make the money. And I didn't realize until I started doing all of these programs and started becoming part of these challenge groups and started reading. I started listening to Gold Digger podcasts. I started, reading the 10 times rule and the compound effect and Miracle Morning. And I was like, I didn't realize everything I was going to get out of those until I started doing it. And I think, and again, like I've talked to other coaches about it this week, when I feel frustrated in this business, when I feel like I'm not doing enough, when I feel discouraged, it's because I'm not working on self-development. It's because I am doubting myself. It's because I am listening to the negative Nelly in me that's like, you can't do this. What are you thinking? You should be doing all of these things. But I can do all of those things. I'm like letting my stress or my anxiety or whatever like take over. And that's because I'm not working enough on my self-development. And that is what I think, that's when I text Beth last week, like, all right, epiphany, like I've been in a freaking dungeon for the last month and I've been like telling myself I'm working on things, like I'm listening to podcasts and I'm doing all of this stuff, but I wasn't doing it with intention. I wasn't being so specific about it. And like, I was going through the motions, like I just wasn't focusing enough on it. I was telling myself I was doing it, but I wasn't. Just like we say, hey, I'm doing everything I can to invite people, but am I? Probably not. I'm probably could spend another hour a day on self-development and it's never going to be bad for me ever. But I focus on doing 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. So I wake up 10 minutes early every day. I do better with it when I'm up in the morning, when I'm working out early, which is another reason I went back to doing 80-Day Obsession, because that's a program that forces me to get up early. It forces me, and I know I can do something at that specific time. So what I would say to you is pick a time that you have 10 minutes to do that. Whether it's 10 minutes of you have a 10 or 15 minute drive that you can listen to a podcast, whether you can get up and read something for 10 minutes, I could give you a laundry list of amazing things to listen to that are just like yes, this is for me. This will help you. The Goal Digger podcast is something by Jenna Kutcher that's like amazing. You could go through start to finish with that. And it's an easy listen. I'm like a crazy person and listen to all of my podcasts at 1.5 speed. I can't even listen to podcasts at regular speed. It sounds so slow now to me. So like you could really get a lot done going that way. I listen to the National Wake Up Call every Tuesday morning on a podcast because I miss it because I'm at work. So you can find 10 to 15 minutes every single day. Find it and do it, because I promise you all of these other things you're doing will be 10 times more effective when you're working on your self-development. Okay, somebody asked me to list the podcast. I'll put them in my Facebook page. I'll go through my my podcast list and post them, because the ones that I can say off the top of my head are Goal Digger. I started listening to Rise by Rachel Hollis, but she like doesn't keep up with it as much just because she's so super busy. So if you haven't listened to those, go back and listen to those. And then another one that Beachbody replays, and the Women Inspiring Women, especially for my new coaches. That's an amazing podcast. It's Melanie Mitro's podcast, but she goes through like her journey from the beginning to now. And I'm literally went back and listened to episode 1, and I think I'm on like episode 11 or 12 right now. But that is an awesome one to listen to because she really walks you through like step by step. And then there's also some good stuff that she can send you to specifically on her website also. But yeah, that was really all I had. Do you guys have any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of add some things. And I think it's so perfect that Heather just commented that you were speaking right to her soul, because she definitely needed to hear this reminder. So I just kind of wanted to say, like, whenever you texted me last week and mentioned wanting to do this routine call, I had already talked to a couple of a couple other coaches, and then like Heather's kind of reiterating this. Like, I think it's so crazy how I feel like so many coaches on our team are like in this place right now. And that's so weird. Like, I don't know if it's like, they say when you hang out, like when women hang out with each other too much, I guess virtually or not, like you all kind of like fall into the same whatever. And so, I've been really struggling with this pregnancy journey and feeling really sick and not being able to exercise, not being able to eat like I like to. I haven't even been able to drink my shake. There's days where like I literally don't get out of bed at all. And so it's totally been like a really challenging mental journey on top of the physical challenges and things. And so definitely something that I needed to hear, not only like as a coach, but as a challenger and just like as a human and as a woman. And so this, like, I have pages of notes from everything that you just said, because I think it's one thing that I've tried to be diligent and intentional about reminding myself on the days where I just get so frustrated with what I can't do and how I'm not feeling and this, that, and the other thing is I try to be really intentional about, like, I started, for example, I bought this gratitude journal on Amazon because I tried to like go back to the basics of figuring out like what was wrong with me at that point and how I could fix those things. And I realized that these thoughts that were like going through my head on the regular were like all of those things I just mentioned, like how I was not feeling and what I could not do. And instead of like recognizing the things that like I could be doing or the things that I am actually grateful for. And so reminding myself to be intentional about going back to the 4 vital behaviors is something that has like literally kept me going this month. But it's so easy for us to forget those things. And I think it's because, regardless of, like Mallory said, whether you've been a coach for a week or for a month or for a year or whatever the situation may be, we get so laser focused on these goals that we have and these benchmarks that we want to hit that I think it's really easy to kind of get out of phase 1. And I always call it staying in phase 1. Like, your most important responsibility as a coach is to stay in phase 1. And phase 1 is literally the 4 vital behaviors and you being a challenger. I think that, the second that you upgrade to a coach account from being a challenger in a group, you kind of forget that you're still supposed to be a challenger, right? Like, you're not just leading a challenge group or co-leading a challenge group, but like you're in the trenches with your challengers. And that is why we do this business. That's why those challengers decided to join us in the first place, is because we're pressing play every day and we're drinking our shake every day and we're doing personal development. And that, that positivity and that motivation, that consistency it radiates from us, and other people want to be a part of that. And so I always think it's so interesting that those are the first things to go when we get overwhelmed or like when things get hard. But I think it's so important for us to just remember to like stay in our lane and stay in phase one and do just those basic things that we know are going to work and that are going to get us out of that slump if we just do them anyways. And I always, like, the one thing that has kept me going this month outside of that is thinking about my business as a direct correlation to my health and fitness journey. So obviously everybody on this team, regardless of how long you've been a coach, is on a health and fitness journey of some sort, whether you've been on it for a second or for a long time. And when you think back over the course of your health and fitness journey, like, that these programs work, and that by just doing, like, the compound effect, by just doing a little bit every single day, even on the days that you don't want to, those things are going to add up, right? And the inches are going to come off, or, the weight's going to come off, or you're going to feel better. You just have to kind of like go through the trenches of doing the not so fun stuff, the not so sexy stuff, so they say, on a daily basis. And coaching is like the exact same thing, right? Like, we know that if we do the 4 vital behaviors every single day, like, our business is going to grow at least a little. And not only that, but like, we're going to be better because of it. So always think about the coaching business and what you do as a coach as a direct correlation to your fitness journey. And I think it's so easy to do that because most of us have been on our health and fitness journey longer than we've been on our coaching journey. And like I said, it's really easy to get like overwhelmed with the trainings and the things that we need to know and the things that we need to do and the things that we know we don't have enough time to get done in one day because life happens or things are crazy, that we just kind of want to throw in the towel and not do anything. But if you can just do those 4 vitals every day, and you can press play, and you can send some invites, and you can talk about the confidence that you have in this business and in your challenge groups, that alone will totally like get you out of your slump, I think. And so I think it just kind of reiterates the importance of consistency, that word that we like love to hear so often. Consistency, and how staying consistent creates essentially a sense of discipline in all areas of your life, whether it's your health and fitness journey or in doing these business activities, that's going to get you through when motivation's not enough. And I know like motivation is a great thing and it's what gets us started, but there's going to be days where motivation just like literally is not enough. And you have to kind of rely on, those behaviors and those habits that you've created by being super consistent in your business. And like Mallory said, whether it's with personal development or doing your workout every day, you're going to be better because of those things. And so like on the days where you're in a funk or you just don't want to, you just have to do it anyways because you know that you'll be better because of it. So I like, this was so timely for me. I totally needed to hear like all of these things. And so I'm so sure that all of these things are going to be what gets me through the last 2 weeks of August and starting September strong. So thank you for all of that. Let's see. Yeah, just lots of reassurance in the chat box. Does anybody have any questions for Mallory or anything that they want to share? Nicole, I just want to kind of comment on your comment. I'm not going to speak for Mallory, but I feel the same way I feel like it's so easy for us to put certain coaches like on a pedestal. I'm really bad about this. I'm thinking like, oh, they've already hit elite and they're only 6 months into the year. And like, this must be easy for them. And they must wake up every day, like with rainbows and gummy bears shooting out of their ears because they've already hit their business goals for this year or, whatever the case may be. But I think all that does, like, that's that comparison game, right? I think that just kind of throws us even more into that downward spiral of kind of being overwhelmed and stuff when really we're just not seeing the full picture. So I'm glad that this was helpful to you guys on.
Something I want to say in regards to that too is Lindsay Matway. I don't remember who. I don't know if she said it multiple times. I know that she was on Rachel Hollis's podcast, which is where I heard it, when she talked about when she started P90X. And she started and stopped it a million times because she wasn't good enough or she didn't think whatever. And what she started doing was literally just giving herself her own milestones. That was it. Like just beating her best, which is I think almost where this last like beat your best thing came from last month was to focus on you and to remind yourself that like you need to worry about you. Like, and I get in that game too of like, I follow Danielle Natoni and I'm like, how do I get that house? Like, what is she doing that I'm not doing? But then you hear her on a call and you're like, oh, wow, she's doing literally the exact same thing I'm doing. She just kept doing it. She just didn't stop. She just didn't let herself get down and stop moving. And that's why I keep saying like, just move in the right direction. Just keep moving forward and focus on you and you'll get there.
Yep, 100%. I agree with that for sure.
Hey guys, can I just share one little tidbit of information that a mentor shared with me, kind of like on the same process here? One of the things that I struggle with so much, still now, I mean, I'm still really intentional about it, but this coaching opportunity and Beachbody programs as a whole has really, really helped me embrace the fact of me being exactly as I'm supposed to be. And I worked with a gal, it's interesting, where I met her. I actually met her. She's a runway coach. And not that anybody wants to like learn more about runway, but just to follow her. Her name is Luciera. She is the most amazing motivational woman. When I was working with her many, many moons ago, we were working on just positive self-confidence and speaking about your body in a positive way. And so that's kind of where it started, but I've really tried to use that as I've gone forward. And when we were meeting again, this was like months down the road after our initial conversation, I said to her, I said, Lou, like I'm totally getting this whole thought process of every time something negative comes in my mind as if I'm not good enough or I'm not doing the right things. I'm really starting to recognize that and figure that out. And I can turn it around and I can say something positive to myself. I really am getting better at this positive mantra thing. But there are days where I have to do that like 4 and 5 times a day. And I was feeling bad about that. And she gave me a piece of advice that has stuck with me forever. And she said to me, Farrell, do you take a shower every day? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course. She's like, what if you went outside, you had a really great workout, you're super sweaty. Did you take another shower? And I'm like, well, yeah. She's like, what if it's at the end of the day and you just kind of feel like you need a minute to just clear your mind? You're going to hop in the bath, just relax and chill? Yeah, maybe. And then she asked me a question. She said, do you feel bad about that? And of course we don't. We don't feel bad about that at all. And then she said, why do you feel guilty or bad or negative about having to wash your brain several times a day, but you don't feel bad about washing your body several times a day? And so that just so stuck with me that it is okay to wash our brains several times a day. Sometimes we got to wash them more times a day than others. And then other times we are just rocking and rolling. And I think Mallory just really hit the nail on the head that just getting back to that and being okay with that piece of it is so critical. So if you have to wash your brain a little bit more this week or a little bit more this month, it's okay. I'm right there washing my brain extra with y'all too. But it just really stuck with me. So I wanted to pass that along to you guys too.
Love that. Thank you, Farrell. Awesome. Well, I don't see any questions or anything in the chat box, so I will post this recording on our team page. I am so hopeful that for all of you that didn't comment or didn't speak up, that this was helpful for you guys too. I definitely think that it was totally timely, especially at this point in the month and kind of where just, you know, our team is at in general. So I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday evening, and just be sure to let us know in the team page or let your coach know if there's anything that we can do to help you guys hit your goals or move forward, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye guys.